Hello everyone, like many of you, I've spent years trying different products that have provided little to no results when it comes to treating a variety of aging eye concerns. I'm talking about dark circles, puffiness, fine lines, wrinkles, and of course the dreaded hooded eyes. I'll be sharing with you some at-home treatments that I've used that have actually produced real results at home. I'm going to be sharing my favorite serum, beauty device, and a few other treatments that I think are really super easy and affordable. And at the end of the video, I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how to get started. So get your coffee. Let's get started. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jody Lynn. I'm 53 years young, and I talk about ways to take care of the skin with a good skincare routine and the help of beauty devices. I do a lot of beauty device reviews. They do work. I feel that I am testament to that, and that's why I really want to share this. If you are that person that really wants to take care of your skin at home, then this channel is for you. Go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. Our eyes are often the first to show signs of aging, and that's because the skin around them is extremely delicate, about 40% thinner than the rest of our face. This area has fewer oil glands and collagen, making it more prone to fine lines, wrinkles, sagginess, plus all that squinting and expression that we do throughout the day will eventually lead to crow's feet and more wrinkles. Let's talk about skincare because that is truly the foundation. You need that area to be nice and healthy as much as we can get it. So some things that I love to do is I love to use an under eye serum paired with a under eye moisturizer. So the first one that I love is the Niod Fractionated Eye Concentrate. This is, I know that many of you that watch my channel also love this. Please comment if you do and if you use this, but this is packed full, you guys, with like 28 clinical technologies. It's insane. The ingredient deck on here is absolutely brilliant. So this is going to help with really everything. Dark circles, puffiness, fine lines. The formulation has hyaluronic acid, peptides, as well as collagen boosting ingredients. Now, just so you know, this is only 15 milliliters. You can see how small it is. It is $69. I never pay full price for this. I always buy this when it is on sale, usually like Black Friday. And this bad boy is going to last you at least a good 6 to 9 months because you need the smallest amount. Now, if you want something that is a little bit more affordable but is really great, The Ordinary. As you can see, these are very like similar. Okay, so this is the Ordinary multi-peptide eye serum. While it is not fully loaded like this one and the ingredient list, it is really a great one. I love all the peptides in here. It's brilliant. It is definitely a great affordable price too. And then what I like to do is go on and lock it in with a moisturizer. And what I've been using during the day is the One Skin. This is the One Skin topical eye cream. I love this. It has their OS1 peptide, which is supposed to eliminate senescent cells, or otherwise known as, they call them zombie cells, which are just dead aging cells. And if you don't get rid of those aging cells, they're like mold on strawberries. It will literally just take over all of the other cells and turn them into healthy cells and turn them into zombie cells as well. So this is absolutely beautiful. This is going to last you forever as well. And then in the evening, what I love is to use some sort of retinol, because my serums do not have retinol, and I don't like to use any type of retinol during the day because retinol can definitely leave your skin more prone to sunburns because it is constantly turning over the skin. So keep that in mind. So, and I also love to use my retinol in the evening because when you're sleeping, that's when all of the magic, is happening in our skin with, rejuvenation and all of that. So I love the Dermatology. This is their HPR cream. So it contains HPR, which is a retinoid. Okay. This is really kind of like the newest, I would say, not so new. I mean, it's been out probably for about a year or so, but it's really coming to the forefront as being a great retinoid that is going to be more stable, and it's not going to create irritation like other retinoids do. And what's really interesting about this type of retinoid is that it bypasses multiple conversion steps to bind directly to retinoid receptors. So I'm going to show you a graph over here on to the side that all of the other types of retinols that are over the counter, they convert into steps to really get to that retinoic acid, which is a prescription-based retinoid. And that can be very irritating. So with this, it doesn't bypass. So you're really getting those benefits of tretinoin. You're not getting the irritation. So I really love that. This is absolutely brilliant. Always still, because everyone is different. I'm not saying this is not going to irritate you, but it doesn't me. So always make sure that you are patch testing if this is something that you want to play around with. And then, go in a couple of days a week and then see if you can increase it to where you get to daily. Now, another one that is really beautiful, that is a bit more affordable, is the First Aid Beauty Retinol Eye Cream. I use that for years, and that is packed and loaded, and it has just beautiful, and that's going to, beautiful ingredients, and it is going to last you a really long time. And then, of course, sun protection is absolutely a must. It really, like 90% of premature aging is because of the sun. So sun protection, especially under this area that is super delicate, is really, really a must. So one of my SPFs that I love for underneath, and it also provides a little bit of coverage under the eye area. If you've got some dark circles, it's not going to be full coverage like a concealer, but that's why I actually love this. This is by Dermatology. It is their SPF, the Luminous Corrector SPF of 41. This is all I need. I don't like wearing concealers because I find them to be really thick, heavy. I can't seem to even find one and that is really light. And this is an SPF that gives a hint of coverage, but is also really movable. Like when I move and stuff, it just looks like, I don't have any makeup on. You know how concealers can kind of get really crepey and dry in there no matter what throughout the day. So this does not do that. Super hydrating. Absolutely love this. Let's talk about my favorite beauty device for the under eye area. If you have more mature skin and your fine lines, wrinkles, puffiness are a little bit more prominent, you need to get into a radio frequency device. I swear by it. This is by Amiro. It is their RF Eye device. This is just for the eyes. It can be used underneath the eye. I have used this to improve fine lines. And it also, I use this to tighten this particular area. You know how in the inside of the eye, it gets like really laxed and crepey and thin? This tightens that area. Now, please note, this isn't going to be like, like you're going in and getting plastic surgery, but it's definitely going to tighten that area, that it's going to minimize any of those fine lines and wrinkles that I think that you would be very happy with. 2 minutes under each eye twice a week is all that you need. I find that to be a really affordable price for what it does as well. I think you can get this for $229 with my discount code. Now, it does suggest online to use their eye masks. So like you put on the eye masks and then you put this, or you use this on top of the mask. You do not need to use these. So just kind of make note of that. You do need to use a gel though. So if you're not using the eye mask, you can use the gel. If you are really looking into this device, I say go in, purchase it with this just to get it started for that first month. And then after that, play around with it and just use like a gel. They sell gels as well, but like an aloe gel is what you're going to want for conductivity and also to keep the area very hydrated. Because the key and the reason that they do this is because you really need hydration underneath there when you are working with any device that is going to be heat. So RF applies heat to the layer of the skin, and then that eventually builds collagen over time. So it is super important to keep the area really moist and hydrated, and I find that this really does a great job at doing that. So just kind of play around with that, but I do like knowing that you don't need to use the eye masks. And of course, these eye masks have great ingredients in the mask, in the formulation as well. And I think that you only need to use this a couple of times a week. I'd go in 2 to 3 times, maybe 3 times a week for the first month. month. And then after that, you could definitely do maintenance like 2 times a week. So just kind of play around with that. All right, let's talk about laser treatments because I know that you guys are going to be asking me about what about the Nira Pro? What about the Nira Precision? What about even the DermRays, right? I used the Nira Precision months ago. I will list the video here. I found that this helped tremendously with my dynamic wrinkles. So those wrinkles that you go like this, you see, and you get these right here. This is where I noticed that that helped greatly. Where this did not help, and I mean it did not help, was the inside here. And now I use the highest level and it really made my skin super crepey inside here, and it looked worse than what I started with. And I was really frustrated. I then just stopped my Nira for a good month. And then that's when I got this bad boy. And I was hoping to God that this would save me, and it did. This radio frequency device helped to tighten this area because it was so loose, so crepey, so dry. I was really scared that I had ruined my under eye area. This is what fixed it. So they came out with the Nira Pro, and I started just using it only right here. That's where I was using it. This is not as high heat as the Precision, which I actually really love. So this, I feel, continued to keep these areas for those dynamic wrinkles at bay. Okay, don't have any major problems. And also I don't use it in here. So I can't attest to that, but I'm literally just doing this. That's what I was doing morning and evening after this came out. And I really did like this to keep those dynamic wrinkles at bay. Now, the DermRays Revive, this is also a laser. This is much different than this, okay? So you can use this all over the face as well. You can use this on the crow's feet, but you're just gonna use it again like on the orbital bone and go around like this. You do not want to use this inside this area. Do not want to use this. I have not used it for the crow's feet, okay? I have not. So I'm just starting to play around with that. I have used this, well, now we're at about 6 weeks on just this face for treating like pores and texture and redness. That's what I've been using this for, but check out my video. I've only done 1 video so far, and that was my 30-day review. So you're gonna wanna check that out. But just keep that in mind. Personally, I really like the radio frequency is my favorite, just for me personally, when we're talking about which device for the under eye area. All right, so let's talk about microcurrent. Microcurrent is also a great device that is going to help with lymphatic drainage. So especially if you get those really puffy eyes here, that's what I find these devices to be great for, okay? Definitely gonna help minimize some fine lines and wrinkles, but not like this one, okay? Just so you know. This is really like building collagen with heat. This is using current to build ATP that over time can build some collagen, but I just don't feel that it builds enough like this does, if that makes any sense. But I do find this to be wonderful for puffiness, and you gotta be consistent with it. The thing about with microcurrent though, is you need to make sure that you are using a device that is specifically made for the under eye area or has treatments for the under eye area, especially when you're working with this area in those crow's feet and fine lines and wrinkles, because the wavelength needs to be different, because you don't want the wavelength to be so intense where it's actually contracting the muscle like this. You don't want tension. You don't want this, because it's already tense. You actually need a wavelength that's actually gonna be very lymphatic, where it's gonna drain it and where it's going to kind of pull it apart and erase those fine lines. So you want it to kind of go more like this, if that makes any sense, which is why I love these 2 devices. I've done a whole video on them, the Zip, the MyoLift QT Plus. I always say if you're gonna purchase any type of device, that just find the one that you can be consistent with. But that is really important when you're talking about microcurrent, is just making sure that you can use it underneath the eye area. All right, let's talk about another device that I love, which is red light therapy. Red light therapy is perfect for the under eye area. It's always important to look into, if you're going to get a red light therapy mask, I prefer a panel, honestly. But if you do want to look into a mask, make sure that this whole area is being covered, okay, with the mask, so that you're getting that red light therapy all around the eye area. It's great for collagen production. It is great for circulation improvement. It is also great for skin texture and overall tone. And it also has some anti-inflammatory effects. And we all know it's great for healing and recovery. So if you do microneedling underneath here, chemical peels, which we're going to be talking about in just a moment, a couple of days after, you can use red light therapy, and that's going to help to accelerate the healing process, which is another thing that I love about red light therapy. When we're talking about hooded eye areas, this is what I use. So I've never had really hooded eyes. And I just want to be very clear to you, if you already have hooded eyes, like some people are just born with hooded eyes, you're not going to miraculously make them not hooded, if that makes sense. What I'm talking about here is the hooded eyes that as we age over time, they really become more hooded. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what we're talking about here. When I started my skincare routine in my late 40s, I feel like I just really started to prevent those hooded eyes from, getting hooded. And I'm hoping that that is what I'm continuing to do. And what I do is use the Zip or the MyoLift QT Plus, either one. You're literally taking microcurrent and holding it like that. And that is what you can do with this as well. They have eye treatments on both of these devices, but that's the only thing. Well, there's one more thing that I do use, and of course, red light therapy, but there's one more thing I'm going to be talking about as well. But I don't use any other device on this area. You never want to use it on the lid. Do not use any beauty device on the lid, okay? It's just this brow bone to kind of go like this and pull it up. Now, some people have said the Nira, that the Pro or the Precision, they've tried it here. I've never tried it there. Play around with that. But microcurrent is my absolute go-to when we are talking about this area and that brow bone. One thing that I love that is super easy, it is super affordable. You do need, however, to do some research. You can't just go willy-nilly into this, but it is chemical peels. I'm telling you guys, this is like the miracle thing that it solves a bunch of issues, okay? So it's going to solve fine lines, wrinkles, because it's going to help build collagen. It is also going to, and you can use this also. You can use this on the hood. You can also use it on the lid. So yes, you can. You're just going to want to put Vaseline around the eye. There's a whole bunch of videos. I'm going to link one. But because you really need to, if you're doing chemical peels, you really need to do your own research and make sure that you're doing all of the pre-stuff that you need to do, and during you need to know, and also post-treatment. So you need to know that. But once you know those things, I'm telling you, it is super easy, super affordable. Like I literally think this is like $13. And if you're only using this on the eye area, this is going to last you probably 6 treatments. So you do need a series of them. I say every 4 to 6 weeks, go in, do a chemical peel around the eye area, give it a good 6 months to 9 months, take before and afters, and I think that you're going to be really happy. All right, another thing is how you are sleeping. I know a lot of people are like, what, really? Yes, it is true. How you sleep can actually cause more wrinkles on your face, and especially the under eye area. If you sleep on your back, you're probably not going to have any problems, okay? The lymph is moving in this direction, right? And you're not like smushing your face up against the pillow or the bed where everything is just like, going to stay stagnant and you're going to get wrinkles, which is what I do. I'm a side sleeper. So when you sleep on your side, your face is smushed into the bed or the pillow, and then it sits there for a really long time. And so those wrinkles do actually get deeper. So I really think that getting a pillow that is going to help you if you're a side sleeper is really important. And I use the Sleep and Glow pillow. I've talked about that many times on my channel, but they also do have some clinical studies. Very small. It is something that they did on their own, but I thought that that was great. You can see the benefits, and I've seen the benefits since using the Sleep and Glow pillow. It has a groove on the inside of the pillow. So when you're sleeping, your face is more like this rather than smushed into the pillow. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference over time. So something that you might want to look into. It's definitely an investment piece. There's no doubt about it. It's pricier pillow, but I've had it for a really long time. I think going on 4 years now, and it's still like new. And I try to take it with me when I am traveling as well, because the Omnia pillow is not so thick. It's actually pretty thin. And so I can just squish it into my suitcase. And I am telling you, if you have puffy eyes, and if it's usually due to sleeping, not getting enough sleep, what you ate or drank the night before, I am telling you, this is what you need. I swear by these. These are by Bloom Body. They are like skin tape, and they sell, this is actually, they actually show these. See, you can see these. They actually show these on Amazon where they're actually being put here. But I actually use these right underneath the eye. And what I do, this is right before I go to bed, what I do is I lift the skin like this. I lift it, then I put this on. And this, it sticks, and it sticks on. I'm a side sleeper. I told you it does not fall off. It's brilliant. It's very lightweight, which is why I like this. It doesn't feel like cardboard like a lot of them do. It's not thick. It's very comfortable underneath the eye. And so what that does is it is continuously providing circulation as I'm sleeping, so that when I'm getting up, I have no puffiness. And I'm telling you, I always can tell a difference when I do not use those. I wake up going, like I totally forgot to put those on last night, and I can definitely see it. And it's also gonna provide moisture, which is also gonna help to minimize those fine lines and wrinkles as well. And I have also used these on my forehead for the lines on the forehead when I sleep as well. So just kind of keep that in mind, but I'm telling you, I swear by these. I just do. They're brilliant and they work. Now, if you have those puffy eyes that have been around for a really long time, they just don't go away. They're there all the time, and they might even be kind of sore to touch. That is something that I really don't have any recommendations for. I think that's something that you need to talk to a dermatologist about. I will link a couple of videos down below. Dr. Sam Ellis kind of talks about puffy eyes, and I really like her content. I think that she's really great. She's a board certified dermatologist. So I'll link some information. She also has a great video out on dark circles. So I want to talk to you a little bit about dark circles, because that is another area that can be very hard to treat, because there's so many things involved as far as where those dark circles are coming from. You can get it from sleep. You can get it from genetics and just shadows. Like there's just so many things that go into why dark circles are even there. So treating them can be a little bit tricky. So I do think that a vitamin C serum underneath the eye area can be really wonderful, as well as chemical peels. Like I said, they can be helpful as well. But if you've got really prominent dark circles, please look at Dr. Sam Ellis's video, which I will link below, and hopefully that might help you. I don't have really dark circles. I do get a little bit of shadowing in here on occasion, and what I'm doing with my serums and my beauty devices has definitely helped prevent that thus far. Okay, you're probably like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful information, but where do I even begin? I know that this is a lot, but I wanted that complete guide for the eye area. And so if you are just starting to see those signs of aging, I really suggest a red light therapy and microcurrent. And of course, your skincare. You've got to get the skincare under as your foundation and SPF. That is an absolute must regardless. But when we're talking about beauty devices, I would go with red light therapy and microcurrent if you are just starting to see those aging signs. And honestly, if you're consistent with that, I really don't think that you're going to need anything else. Just be consistent with that. And I think it's going to be really help to prevent any further issues under the eye area. Now, of course, I can't 100% say that, but just, kind of play around with that. And then if you want to, add in some chemical peels, because that is really affordable. It is really easy to do. And I think you're just, especially if you've got some dark circles or some hyperpigmentation underneath here, I think that that is going to be wonderful. And then if you have more advanced signs of aging, puffiness, deeper lines, then I definitely would say you got to get a radiofrequency device, okay? This is my favorite under eye radiofrequency device. I think the Nebulift, you can also do radiofrequency underneath the eye. I actually prefer this one a little bit better because it's more powerful. So that's why I like it. With the Nebulift, you need to use it every single day, but this one tends to be higher watts, which I really like. So anyway, that's just me. I love this device for, you know, more mature skin. And then of course, red light therapy and chemical peels. I don't think that you would really need a microcurrent device unless you wanted to work on your hooded eye area. But you know, I would go with radiofrequency, red light therapy, and then chemical peels. Give that a good 6 months to a year. Take some before and afters. And then, of course, from there, you can kind of see, like, do you want to add in microcurrent? Do you not? Is what is working for you helping? And, you know, kind of go that route. And then, of course, if you are just not seeing any results in your dynamic wrinkles, you might want to look into a laser device that's, you know, again, just kind of monitor your results. But I think chemical peels, red light therapy, and RF is a great starting point when we are talking about more mature aging concerns underneath the eye. And let us know if you know, you're using any of these things and what has helped for you. We would all love to know. And remember, everyone's skin is different. So what works for me might not work for you, but I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. And if you're interested in more mature skincare content, please subscribe. I've got a lot to share. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you do not miss my upcoming videos. Until next time.